Hot dang, hot dang. What's up? Happy Thursday to you. Welcome to Couchdoodles Live. I'm your host, FragaBoom. We got a lot of really fun regulars in the crowd. I see some gangsters gonna say hello. What up, VIP? What about? What's happening? J Money, as always. What's up, man? Androdas01, hail, my man. Let's see who else. Wolverine, Snickety Snick, Arthur Brown. How are you, Uncanny Kodiak? And Rooster Puncher's up in here too. Rooster Puncher's up in here too as well. So today I have a guest. I'm very excited to present. I just discovered his work in the last few weeks, and I am totally bowled over by the man himself and by the book. I backed it the second I saw it. I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. This is the book right here. It's called Johnny Fantasm. My guest today is Patrick Thomas Parnell. Hopefully I'm saying it right. I always hate when I'm screwing up last names. But we're going to talk, and we're going to find out a bit more about the artist behind the book. And he's an interesting dude. He's an artist, a teacher, a husband, a cat lover. There's nothing wrong with any of that. And without any further craziness from me, welcome, Patrick. Hello, sir.
What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. We are both chilling on the East Coast.
That's right.
I heard you got. What's up?
You're in Atlanta, correct?
That's right. Yeah, a little north of you.
Right on.
You told me you got to play some shuffleboard today. I'm a little envious. A little envious of that. But I did have bacon today, so I made up for it. I had 2 bacon burgers.
One you got to be careful.
One with bread. I drink a lot of water, but yeah, you're right. I don't know if kidney stones come from bacon, then I deserve it.
Well, I mean, I was that's what I was trying to tell you about before. Was the like the protein levels aren't good for like your kidneys. And you had that crazy like meat party. I was telling you about the meat sweats.
That's real.
It's dangerous, man. You gotta be careful. You gotta switch over to like turkey bacon.
Yeah, maybe it's still protein, but I mean, it's like I feel like Pepe Le Pew. You know, when the girl cat goes by.
Penelope.
But it's Penelope. Good on you, man. The bacon makes me turn and sort of float towards it, like my feet go off the ground.
Right on.
Chicken stuff. Hail Caesar Caligula says, "Boo vegetables." I actually like vegetables, but my diet is so limited these days. I've cut out pretty much all carbs, like mostly all carbs. I mean, a little bit here and there in whiskey and such, but like I don't eat chips. I don't eat French fries. I don't eat pasta.
What's the name of that guy? Like Jordan Peterson? Is that his name? He's a writer, and like he's on like a all like red meat diet.
Oh yeah. But he was also sick for a long time, wasn't he?
I know, coincidence.
Yeah. Passmaster Dan says that broccoli gives him gas. Welcome to the club, bro. Welcome to the club. Sween says, "Nah, bro. Eat mass meat and fuck all the other shit, brother." I'm sort of halfway in between. I'll tell you, I dig on salads. I know that sounds whack, but I do dig on salads. But what I was told was that my kidney stone came from mass spinach consumption.
Really?
Yeah. Rancid Potato's a little upset. Dan Frigga won't eat me. I like that. Well, okay. Then he's not upset. You know what I found out? So I had this arthritic bone spur in my neck. Mm-hmm. I still do, and it was like really a problem for about 3 years. And what I thought about
is that from drawing posture?
Yeah, just the hunching over.
Yeah.
So what I found out was that I should work on different foods. So I looked up all kinds of foods that cause inflammation, and I isolated that carbohydrates do it. Charred, like a charred red meat, not charred the vegetable, but like red meat that's got too much char on it.
Yeah.
But when it came to carbohydrates, potatoes, I could eat one French fry and have my back flare up. And if I don't eat any at all, it works out pretty well. So
Do you take any turmeric?
I turmeric all day, man. Turmeric and ginger. You and I talked a little bit offline about supplements. I'm a big supplement fan.
Absolutely.
I think I'm Popeyes. I am what I am, man. That's how it goes. So here's the thing, man. This is your first time as my guest on the show, and what I'm gonna do to you is I'm gonna grill you with the Couchdoodles questions. I ask them of all my guests, and it's so people could get into your creative process. You have a very interesting style. You can do a lot of things. You do line art. You do painting. And you teach. So I think you're kind of a master of creativity. So I'm going to jump in on the questions if you're not scared.
No, go for it.
All right. Do you have a routine?
Do you mean art-wise, or do you mean daily, or both?
Like a daily routine that you like, because you do art for a living. So that means you have a day. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
a routine?
No, yeah, I definitely have a routine. I mean, I have a routine when it comes to like getting ready to go to bed. When it comes to like where I jog, it's like I jog 2 or 3 times like a week for sure. I make myself do it. I have like a very specific way that I jog every time. I have like a path,
Yeah.
Like no matter where I lived, when I lived in New Jersey, like where I'm from, when I lived, a little bit more south from where I am now, I had a specific way that I always ran.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it's like time to go to bed, and it's like, and I'm closing up the shop, it's like close on this light, close that light behind me, the lights behind me. Then I go over to the toy cases, I turn those lights off. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have like this little routine. So I'm definitely like a routine like guy for sure. And even when it comes to, some of those mixed media like paintings like that are on my my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's like I go from point A to point B to point C to point D, and I'm flexible too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I feel like creatively and just in life in general, like routines kind of make me kind of stay on path.
Sure.
I mean, like right here is like a huge to-do list. This whole all this stuff is to do.
And
And, like,
wicked stripes. Turn your head again. Show them. No, the other way. Look at that. Racing stripes. Those are the best, man.
This is what happens when you're on quarantine and you get bored and you start looking at your head, and you're like, what can I do?
Yeah, I was thinking of doing a reverse mohawk where I shave the middle out because it's already sort of starting on its own. So my next question is, like, artistically, we run in almost everybody runs into this problem. It's like a writer's block or an artist block. What do you do when you don't know what to do?
For a project, I mean, well, there's a couple different questions you can answer that. I mean, are you in reference to like personal stuff, or when like I get hit with a job and I'm trying to inspire myself?
It could be either way. Like, sometimes when I'm working on layouts, I get at an impasse, right? And I go, oh God, I could do this, but then this, I can do this. And then you kind of get almost lost in the weeds.
Yeah.
So like I myself have certain things that I do to get out of the weeds. What do
Well,
you
like if I'm working on like, let's say like a page or a sequence of pages or something like that, and I am at I guess we can call it an artist block. What
Yeah.
I'll do is I'll go to like those 4 or 5 books that I always go to for my inspiration. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like one of the first books I always go to is Alex Toth's Zorro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I just flip through that book and it's just like it's impossible to look at Alex Toth's like early year stuff, especially if it's stuff that he was doing for Disney.
Right.
And it's like, and just get ideas. And then I also have like that huge Dreamwave Drew Struzan poster book.
Yeah.
If I'm jamming on covers and I don't have something like that I can think of, I just open up. There we go. I mean, like that book right there is like my Bible.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, it's like if I'm jamming on a cover and I want to, get inspired, I bust out that Dreamwave Drew Struzan book.
Yeah.
And it just flipped through him because I mean, Drew Struzan is just so great when it comes to, I mean, ideas and composition. I mean, the dude can do it all. If people don't know, like Drew Struzan did all the Star Wars posters, and are you bringing them up?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the book right there.
Yeah. He did tons. I mean, he did Goonies. He did the Harry Potters.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Coming to America, Back to the Future, but I mean, the dude is a master of composition. So it's like, if I'm having issues as far as getting inspired or getting ideas, I'll refer to a few books, and those are some of them, where I just kind of flip through them, and then things just come to mind, But
Yeah.
if I'm doing something personal and I'm trying to look for some inspiration, what I'll do is I'll just kind of just like surf Pinterest or surf, like Instagram, and look up ideas like let's say like I wanted to do like a Wildcats piece,
Yeah.
and I'll just type in grifter and I'll just surf and just kind of see, and just see what people have done, see what my friends have done.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I'm saying?
I do. I absolutely know what you're saying. Now, if you could trade lives with anybody, living or dead, for a day, who would it be and why?
Well, I mean, I'd probably say my dad.
Hmm?
I think I only met him about maybe like 5 times, like that
Wow.
I can remember.
Yeah.
Um, and the dude was like, he was in Vietnam and he was a badass. He saw a lot of action. Had his nose completely broken off by the butt of like a gun. Like his he had like a piece of his hip was like his bone was right here because it
Wow.
got hit by the butt of it is like clean off.
Wow.
Um, but like him and my mom separated when I was very young, so I didn't get to like really chill with him.
Yeah.
Um, and like we're from New Jersey, and he grew up in New Jersey in the '60s and '70s, went to Vietnam, and from what I heard, like the dude was like a badass,
Yeah.
like beating up like an entire bar, just taking his shirt off and then breaking a pool stick in half, and then just beating up everyone, like usually in defense, and he was always helping people.
Yeah.
And I don't have any like conversations that I remember of him. I just have images of him, and I would like just to kind of like be in his shoes and see what it was like to be him, like chilling, in the '70s, which is kind of like partially what's going on with Johnny Fantasm 1977.
Yeah. Let's pull that up. I want to show people the campaign again, and to my admins, if you guys check it, and if you guys want to check, the link to this awesome campaign is in the description. We got Johnny Phantasm, Tales of New Detroit, 1977 is back. It's available in a limited 3-issue comic run. What I think is really cool about this is that this is $15 for 3 comics to your door. And you've partnered up with Peter Smeddy over at Alterna Comics. Very cool series. I love this character. He just calls out to me. You wanna tell the audience a little bit about the character?
Sure. Well, I mean, Johnny Phantasm is a character that myself and my co-writer Evan Posios came up with. He's a Greek dude coming from Detroit. He was born and raised in Detroit. So that's kind of like we both have our influences as far as like this characters are concerned. Something
Yeah,
that I just mentioned previously about not knowing my dad and kind of imagining what it was like in the '70s. But also, like Evan has a lot of love for Detroit, a lot of love for stuff like The Crow. His family has restaurants in Detroit. Like he's like a Detroit boy.
yeah,
So we kind of met in the middle as far as what we wanted to say in this story. Now, as far as Johnny, what Johnny is, like the way that I always describe him to everyone, like this is kind of like my convention pitch when people are coming by checking him out,
yeah,
is he's a mix between Scarface and Beetlejuice. Um, as if you just want my quick pitch, Scarface meets Beetlejuice.
love it.
He's a gangster, grown up without a dad in the '60s and the '70s. He's basically like a wise guy. He's a hitman, and he gets sent on a hit of a priest. I mean, it is a little bit spoiler here, but you can see it like as soon as you scroll down. Like he takes out the priest, and when the priest is dying, he curses him with this thing called the phantasm. So the phantasm is kind of like it's kind of like the power is very reminiscent of like the Green Lantern type of power, where he can kind of just like summon this force, but it's like spirits that he summons.
Right.
Um, So he goes from being Detroit's like #1 hitman to Detroit's demon boss. So that's basically Johnny in a nutshell. That's some of my previous work that I did over the past couple of years.
Yeah, no, I'm taking a look, showing everybody. So you worked on Sonic, Ninja Turtles, Mega Man. That's pretty damn cool, man. Those are all super iconic.
Yeah, like those are a couple of those gigs where it's like when you're doing it, you're like very satisfied because it's
Yeah,
like, as I was drawing Mega Man, I was imagining 8-year-old me looking forward and playing that game and being like, hey, dude, you're gonna be fucking doing a cover for that one of these days.
yeah. That's got to be one of the best feelings. In fact, you have segued into my next question. If you could give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Patience.
Yeah,
Like patience and humility. I mean, I think about that all the time too. Like you kind of gave me a heads up on what some of the questions were, and when I read that one, I was just like, that one is patience. I know that all. I think that every day.
yeah,
Like there's so many situations where it's like you go back and you're like, oh, if I just had a little more patience, I would have gotten through that situation so much better.
yeah. I hear that, man.
I know that was a very simple answer, but that's it.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. You'd be surprised that there's a whole range of answers I get. That's a really good one.
What about you? I mean, like I don't want to get off of me, but like like I've followed your work for a while, with the Black Flag stuff, like back in
Yeah,
the day, and you've, I mean, jumping from that and then even to that He-Man stuff like that you recently did,
yeah.
like art wise, like what would you tell your younger self?
To not sweat the small stuff
Mm.
and to stay the course.
Mm-hmm.
Like focus on you. Stop focusing outside. Stay focused. Baby time. Hold on. Oh, she wants to kiss her monkey. Hold on. Here you go.
That's great.
There you go, baby. Mwah.
Did I kiss?
Love you. Yeah, bye bye.
Love you.
All right. Good night. All right. Yeah, but that would be it. It was just I had I knew before I broke into comics, I knew exactly what I wanted, and I was very focused. And
Mhm.
then once I broke into comics, it's probably symptomatic of being in a studio, you get that whole sort of grass is greener feeling,
Mhm.
and you're going, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that, and you start losing focus on what the truth is within yourself.
Yeah.
And then you start sweating stupid shit. So I say, stay the course, stay true, don't sweat the small stuff. That would be my advice. Brett Norman, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. How am I feeling? Let's see Black Flag get to 200,000. About 200,000, man. We're on the race to 100,000. That would be great. And I'm feeling okay. They've got me on Percocets, and they're not working as good as I'd like them to, but they're working. So
I think you're gonna make 2K pretty easily.
yeah,
I mean, I don't want to jinx anything, but I've watched a couple of these,
yeah,
and you can tell people's excitement level. It's and then it's, of course, once you pass that date, then it's going to be in demand for a while, and you might as well just leave it in demand while you make it. I'm not sure if you thought about that yet or not.
I think about it. I think about should I stay? Stay for 30? Should I go in for 60? Oh,
Uh,
Sheila Allen says, "Oh my God, great hair. My 10-month-old is still bald." She was bald too up until about 11 months or so. She's almost 16 months now. So they were always saying, "What a cute little boy." It's a girl, damn it! Can't you tell with the pink hair? I mean, the pink outfit and the earrings. Oh, Past Master Dan's talking about the Stones as well. Yeah, that's when we start calling them Rolling Stones. My next question, it's one that some people are very self-conscious about, And it's because I ask, what are you still most self-conscious about, if anything?
I mean, it, this is an art question, or are we talking generally?
This is all the above. Like Neil Adams, the great Neil Adams, his answer was my weight.
Yeah,
You know, I thought he was,
yeah.
I thought he was going to say, "Oh, the way I draw Batman's cowl sometimes." No, it was literally he went, "Boom, my weight."
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll agree with him a little bit there. But I mean, I think one of the things I'm most self-conscious about is that. Oh man, that's a tough question. That's a tough question. I remember reading that one and I was like, that one's gonna be rough. I mean, my like jokingly, like I'll say my love handles.
Yeah,
But I mean, like when it comes to well, I mean, when it comes to different things, it's like when it comes to teaching, like my like when I'm teaching, I like one of the things I'll say I'm really self conscious about is that I will kind of get it corner myself like almost sounding like right now that I'm not really sure what I'm talking about, and this happens a lot like when you lecture, especially when you're lecturing in front of like 30 students, and
mm,
you get going on something, and it's like I've been in a situation where I've kind of talked myself in a circle, and like I get to points where I'm not making any sense, and that's happened to me like in front of like students, like a big classroom, and I think it like when I lecture, that's one of the things that kind of like really like bothers me. So I'm really self conscious about like, and like this happens with panels too. When I'm doing demonstrations at conventions, just kind of
yeah.
fumbling, fumbling.
Is it you get lost in a concept and you have to come back on it?
Yeah, and then sometimes you assume people know what you're talking about, and then you kind of get halfway through a sentence and you realize that they're not even on the same page. They're still on page one, and you're talking about page 12.
Yes, I mean that's the danger sometimes when you're a writer as well. You put in something where you're like, God, they'll love this, but then you don't realize you never set it up.
Yeah.
It's one of those crazy things. Uh, and then yeah, Dragonsmith bullet point is the key to organizing one's thoughts. I use mind maps myself, but bullet
Mhm.
points work just as well. Now, what we do is a lot of play, right? We get to think about fantastic stuff. We get to create. As a teacher, we have to think of the person's mind as malleable and new. What do you do that's still the most childlike? What are the childlike things that you still do?
Well, there's something that comes like right off the bat is ever since I was maybe 3 years old, I've always slept with like a fan by my head.
Mm. Is it the white noise?
It's the white noise.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's kind of like something that like when I was 3, 4 years old, I used to fall asleep by an AC in my family's old apartment in New Jersey. Not my bed, not the couch. I used to make like this little nest by the AC, and ever since then, I have to have a fan. Like I do, like even when I go to conventions and stuff like that, I bring like this little fan with me.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have a set of things that I pop my earbuds in and pop it on. I like white noise and things like that.
Uh
Oh man, this guy, what a lucky child. He still drinks breast milk.
huh.
Probably only the finest Cambodian breast milks, like P Diddy, rocking like P Diddy. Awesome. And then, bro, my mom ran a vacuum under my crib.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That's how we
That
roll.
that's some white noise there.
Yeah. Now, would you rather live in the country, the suburb, or the city, and why?
Well, I mean, personally, I think more of the country. Like I lived in New Jersey for a while. I lived by the city. I lived in inner, like more towards the center of New Jersey, closer to PA.
Yeah.
I lived in Florida. I lived by the beach. Like, and I think overall, I like when it's quiet. Like the problem that I had living in New Jersey was even in the middle of the night, it never is quiet.
Interesting.
It's like there's always like a highway noise you hear. It's like it's the same thing in LA too. Like that was one thing like when I would visit friends in LA. You go outside and it's just never absolutely quiet. There's always something that's happening. Something how it is down like by where my mom lives, which is like an hour from me. It's like at night, it's like quiet. Um, and whether that be in the country or maybe like the suburbs, I think it's just as long as it's a quiet spot, that's kind of where I'd like to be. I can't do the city. You know, the city is fun to like to visit. Like New York is cool and stuff, but it's just like that's just too much.
Yeah, I'm with you. I one time went to well, I've been to New York a couple times, but I remember one time I was there and my hotel was in Manhattan, and
Uh,
it was like honking, some sort of jackhammering, some
yeah,
sort of bus, some sort of yelling,
yeah,
all always at the same time. I grew up in a small town, and like I got used to the sounds of tugboats and
mm,
trains,
mm,
you know, like
yeah.
those sort of horns and things.
Well, it's interesting is like people that were born and raised in places like New York, like they probably can't do without that. You know that
Right,
like what we were just talking about white noise. Like they probably would feel really strange, like kind of moving to the country. You know, one might like it, but you know, for them, they probably need to hear that.
right. Yeah, 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 exactly. I had a buddy who was forgot what sounds he had. He had some sort of soundtrack playing. I'm like, man, wherever you are sounds amazing. He's like, oh, it's just on my computer playing in the background. I'm like, well, that's cool. It sets a vibe. That's pretty cool. Now, this is the fantasy another fantasy question, but it's one of those ones that is fun to ask. If you could learn a new skill instantly, what would you want it to be?
uh, to be able to do computer animation,
Yeah,
just like straight up, just everything. You know, the rigging, the lighting, all the math stuff.
yeah,
Um, I just like I taught at a computer animation school for a while, and I taught drawing, and I taught a little bit of ZBrush stuff, and I taught color theory. Um, but something I always wanted to dabble in was like computer animation, just because like I always thought it was like I just admired the art form and like what you could do with it.
right.
And there's just so many skill sets that are in that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like the lighting and the rigging, all that stuff is like completely different. And I would just like to learn as a whole computer animation.
The thing that I found to be crazy about anything that I've learned that's like outside my skill set, for example, I love music production, and
Uh-huh.
I learned how to do it using a software called Logic, and
Hmm.
I know conceptually what I want to do, and I know where it is in Logic, but then I get a brand new software like FL Studio,
Hmm.
and suddenly like I don't know where the buttons are, I don't know where the things are,
Hmm.
and I feel almost like a kid again with not knowing. Uh, but yeah, man, computer animation, it's great. I see a lot of when I was working for Mattel, I saw a lot of different pipelines. You know, you
Uh-huh.
have XSI, you have Maya,
Yeah.
Lightwave. It's cool. What would you want to do with that? Like if you had that ability, what would you do with it?
I think I like the puppetry aspect of it, because I mean, really, like when you think about it, like computer animation is more like Nightmare Before Christmas than it is like a 2D animated
Yeah,
movie, or it's like it's all about puppetry. And I kind of liked the body language of some of, I mean, it's weird, like places that Pixar, what separates them from like DreamWorks is like these animators, they're good actors, and if you see in their studios, like their little cubbies that they have mirrors. I'm sure you've seen them where they
yeah,
act out their stuff on camera, and it's like, and then they basically like mock their movements exactly. So these dudes are like great like body actors.
right.
Um, I always thought that was really cool, and it'd be fun to be able to express myself that way.
Yeah, it makes all the difference. One of the guys, Gendy Tartovsky, hopefully I'm saying his name right, but he did Samurai Jack, but then he went over and did the Hotel Transylvania movies.
Mm,
And what he brought to computer animation, which wasn't really present in a lot of like Pixar movies or even the Illumination movies, is the idea of the 2D squash and stretch.
mm,
So it would create these distortions. They wouldn't
yeah.
only have great movement, but they would, if someone came over here, they'd ball up into a shape and then bound out of it. I love all of that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, like some of the technology that Pixar has come up with, as far as like the CGI that they use for like hair and water, has just been like revolutionary.
Oh yeah, stuff we all take for granted now. It's like, when they did Monsters Inc. It's when they brought that hair engine in with Sully, and
Hmm.
we were all blown away. And then like
Yeah,
every movie afterward is like they have their character. It's like
yeah.
each thing is upon the next. Let's see, what do we have next for you? This is another one of those kooky questions. Earth, wind, fire, water. Which of those elements best represents you?
I would say is rock on there.
Earth. Yeah.
Earth, yeah, Earth, probably.
Awesome.
Just
Why?
just because I'm just stubborn. I'm hard to move.
Interesting. Interesting.
But real quick about your music uh, thing you were just talking about.
Yeah,
Do you make music at home?
I do. Yeah, it's mostly hip hop and pop.
Mm-hmm.
And I make beats for myself to rap to, and I make beats to put on my Instagram posts and for background music on my YouTube videos. That way, I don't have to pay anybody for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you as into hip hop as Eddie Pisker?
Yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, probably with different facets.
Uh-huh.
I like my favorite is Rakim. I also had I had leanings towards more the pop side, like Run DMC, LL Cool J, a lot of the
Yeah,
Def
right
Jam
on.
stuff. I really enjoy the hip hop family tree. Like
Oh yeah.
I love that book.
Mm.
I know all my roots. I know about 1520 Sedgwick, DJ Cool Herc. I know he wasn't the first, but he was the one that was known.
Mm-hmm.
I know about different beefs. I know about the producers. I know what equipment they used. But like I said, my focus is different. Like I know Marley Marl did the LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out," but I also know that he did it in his living room with with tape. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I'm super into hip hop, but it's such a big, wide topic to be into that I always use this analogy when it comes to something that's that's together but separate. We're a human body, right? And you would think like someone would know thyself, but if I said touch your right elbow with your right hand, you can't, right? It's impossible.
Mm.
So someone could be like you can have two people that are intensely into hip hop that there are parts that never cross over. They just don't. So
It's like the Yankees and the Mets.
right, yeah, you
Like,
can
it's like you think they get along, but
right, right.
well, have you ever heard of a band called Horror?
No, I have not.
They're kind of like a hip hop like punk rock band.
Right.
It's been interesting. Like there's been a lot of these like indie like hip hop like punk rock bands that have come out like in the past like 5 years or so. And this band Horror, like they actually spell their name H. I mean it's Horror, like HORROR, but the way that they spell it is HO9909.
Oh,
Uh,
neat.
yeah. So it's like, you know, I saw them at a little club down here, and like they just totally blew my mind because they're doing like super fast punk rock stuff, but then they're doing like bust of rhyme type stuff.
Hmm. That's cool. I think music's music. You have a bird?
What is that, sweetheart? Oh, she caught a mouse.
Oh, it sounded like a cockatiel or something. But yeah,
Yeah.
when cat catches a mouse.
Did Pidge catch that mouse? Oh yeah, we have a slight mouse problem here, and the cats have been on the prowl.
I love
I
that.
have one that's sleeping right here. Didn't even move. That's how chilly it is.
That's awesome. Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
love my cats.
so yeah, like yeah, I would check out horror. That like they're super good. But like one of the things that's interesting is just talking about like mixing music and like art and stuff like that. Like before I did comic books, I played in like a punk rock band for a super long time.
What'd you play?
I played bass.
Oh, nice.
But I
Slap
mean,
yes.
nah, stop at the base. But yeah, I mean, like we so like before I went to school to do comic books and stuff like that. Like I was all into like music and like recording and going to studios. This is like 17, 18, 19, 20. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I went to Hollywood like a kid from Florida, driving all the way out to Hollywood to record like with my punk band. We recorded with the same dude that did like Offspring Smash and like Bad Religion and NoFX and a lot of those punk bands out there.
Yeah, legend.
And like lived out in LA, did that whole like punk rock recording thing out there, toured. But I mean, it's weird because like I got a little bit of a late start when it comes to being a professional illustrator. Like a lot of dudes, like I mean, since we just brought him up, like Eddie Pisker, like as soon as he was like of age, the dude was like making art professionally.
Well, I met him when he was 12.
Yeah, I remember you telling me. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But like for the first like early years of my adult life, like I wanted to just play punk rock music and just go to towns and just meet people and make music. I mean, like I was always into comics. Like I drew comics in high school and shit like that. And I was always keeping up with comics, but like for a while there, like I just wanted to play punk rock music.
Heck yeah. I want to hit up the super chat before it leaves. Sweens, take this and just have fun with your kids, man. Sweens, I will. And you know what I'm going to do? One of my kids, my little girl, my firstborn. I have 4. I have a stepson, and my little girl. She's turning 9 on Monday, so that $15 is going to find its way into something that has to do with Monster High. She's rediscovered Monster High. It was one of those weird circumstances, and she and I had this talk. We had this talk about Monster High. When I was working at Mattel, she was like, 2, 3, 4 years old, and I'd bring her home dolls, and she would do the little girl thing of, tearing all their clothes off and pulling their hair and, being crazy. And now she's like, Dad, I wish I had such and such doll. I'm like, you did? Like, what happened to it? I said, yeah, ripped it apart. I did. So she's turning 9. We have another $2 super chat from Brett Norman, talking to you, sir. PTP, love JP's vibe, backing it tomorrow. So he's loving on Johnny Phantasm. Hell yeah.
Do you guys have a Ollie's in Atlanta?
What's that?
It's like a kind of like an outlet store.
I'm not sure. I don't get out much, man.
Oh, right on. Well, I mean, the only reason why I know this is because my daughter also likes Monster High, and they have loads of Monster High stuff out there.
I'm gonna have to find it then.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the $15 toy that you get like Walmart or Target. They have for like $5.
That's awesome. The problem I'm having is they don't sell them anymore.
Yeah, well, that's what, like Ollie's like buys like old stuff.
How do you spell it?
Just like skateboard Ollie, OLLIES.
I'm gonna search it right now. There's a question for you there in the window, Patrick. How do you feel about the Cramps?
Like the Cramps, I never got into like a whole lot. Like I definitely respect them. Like in that whole genre. Like I was more into like Bad Religion, like 80, 85, or like even like DRI. I was
DRI.
Yeah. Like I mean, like I definitely. I mean, I've been to Cramp shows. I definitely love them. But yeah, I never really got down with the Cramps like a whole lot, but I definitely respect them.
I do have Ollies in my area. There are 3. I'm gonna one day when we're allowed to safely, I'll go out and get it.
You guys aren't open up there?
We are, but my household, the mother-in-law and the wife are like, we're not going out there yet. And we have the 4 kids here, and they're very concerned about safety.
Yeah. You guys have a baby too, so you guys gotta be careful.
Everything is extra caution, like extra caution. Now, this is one of my favorite questions I ask people. It's, if money wasn't a factor, how would you live your life?
I would be doing the same exact thing that I'm doing right now. I like my life. I draw comic books. Like I teach people about art. I get to talk about art. I'd be doing the same exact thing. I mean, I guess it would be like if I had $1 million, like what would I do? I would just keep on doing what I'm doing, and I would just make stories, do art.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think the only addition that I would have is I'd eat better food, I mean like the best of the best, and I would probably travel more, but I would still want to draw, create, make a show like this one, but it would just be, you know, better food and more travel.
Yeah, well, I mean, like when it comes to just like making stuff in general,
Mainly in the house.
I mean, like when it comes to making stuff in general, you know, like I was saying, that like before I was younger, I made music, you know, and that was one of the things that I did as a creative outlet, you know. And before that, you know, I was making like comic stuff like in high school. Then after that, you know, like I was making comics after the music stuff. And then, you know, even since then, like you know, I like this is actually the longest I've gone like without being in a band because I've been focusing on Johnny Fantasm so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I've been in a band up until like 3 or 4 years ago. You know, like the last couple of bands that I was playing in were like more like metal bands. Um, but yeah, I'd be creating it. You know, it's like it's something that is just like drives me. You know, it's like I'm constantly thinking about something. Whether I mean now it's like toy designs too. You know, like now I'm thinking about toys is like something new that I've been messing around with.
Toys would be fun. I'm learning more and more about toys. I know they're very expensive,
Yeah.
especially in the tooling. You know, the sculpting of it is like, oh, it's cool. This would be a great toy, but then the actual tooling, so it could be mass produced, is so freaking expensive.
I know like the last Johnny Fantasm campaign that we did a year or so ago, we actually had a toy design made by my friend who works at Hasbro. It's a sweet design, but one of the things that we really wanted to do was we wanted to produce it in America. That was one of the main things that we were looking to do. I mean, and that is just like such a far fetched dream. Um, it's a shame that like in order to make a toy at a reasonable price, like we have to ship it over to China.
Yeah, that's just it's the thing I found with making decisions when it comes to the actual manufacturing of any goods is it ends up being a sliding scale. So, for example, if you want something cheaper, you send it overseas, but it doesn't get here faster. It's like you can get it for a third of the price, but you have to wait like 3 times the amount of time to get it to you,
Yeah.
and you have to deal with quality control and all that. So
I actually did a lot of research in the past year or so in like indie toy designers like in the United States.
yeah,
And there's actually quite a few. I mean, I think within the next 5 years, like we're gonna be able to start manufacturing toys in the United States again.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really awesome. Now, can you describe yourself with one word?
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Okay. Yeah, I remember you said you're like the earth. Let's I'm gonna take a look real quick. I'm gonna sidebar and see what we're doing on the Black Flag campaign.
Absolutely.
We're at 95,473. 73 is a good number. It's my birth year. We're super close to Pink Bunny Suit. If you guys watched my latest tweet, I posted a video where I hit a subliminal pink bunny, and if anybody doesn't blink, they're going to see the pink bunny.
Wait, when is it? Is that at 100K?
100K, yeah. So I'm hoping.
You better start putting it on now.
I got it. It's back there. It's hanging back there on my mannequin, Mr. Stanley. William Ramskill says tomorrow. I predicted once the numbers started getting crazy. I said it would probably happen May 11th, which is my daughter's birthday. So I'm hoping. I hope it would be magical. John, are you rapping? If John Malin wants to rap, I'm here to rap against him.
I would love to hear John Malin rap because I know he loves rap so much.
He does. He's a big fan of rap. He's a gangster, but he is kind. He is a kind man. And if you guys didn't know about crypto fashion, have you guys seen crypto fashion, or more specifically, John Malin's products on crypto fashion? I myself went all in on this particular shirt. It's the shirt. It's available in white and it's available in black.
I didn't know these existed.
They do exist, and they're a meager $22 to show your enthusiasm for anything. So yeah, go to crypto.fashion and check it out. That's right, John Malin. I outed you on your really cool shirt. See, look at double. You know, I hear that like anime sound whenever I see those exclamation points. All right. Now, what initially sparked your interest in creating comics and creating art?
I would say, I mean, just straight up, G.I. Joe the cartoon and Transformers.
All right.
Just as simple as that. The gas station down the street from my house carried G.I. Joe the comic books.
Yeah.
And that was my initial how I get into that. I mean, a lot of kids were into cartoons in the 80s, and some of them still have some nostalgia for it, but something about it just like really like captured my imagination. And then as soon as I got to the point where I figured out that like people were actually making those things, because I mean when you're a kid and you're watching those, and the same thing goes for my daughter here, it doesn't dawn on them that someone's making it. They're just enjoying Bob's Burgers because it's funny, or
Yeah.
like I always tell her, like when she's looking at toys or art, I'm like, you could do this. I'm trying to explain to her, and as soon as I found out that someone made that stuff, I was just like, that is what I'm doing. I'm doing that.
You can be a kid forever.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good excuse to be a kid forever.
Yeah. Now, and I'm sure you've heard plenty because you're a teacher, but what are some bad recommendations you've heard in your profession, either as a teacher or as an artist?
I think whenever someone is 100% certain on something, I think that is bad.
Yeah.
Like we were in a chat the other day and we were talking about Eric Larson, and Eric Larson has poo-pooed a lot of people just because I don't know if he had a bad day or he's not seeing something, but I mean he's discouraged. I mean, like a handful of people that I know that have made it.
Right.
So it's like sometimes when there's these established artists that are so certain, or if anyone is certain, it's like it's not necessarily like that great of a sign. It's like I like when people are like 95% sure, unless you're a brain surgeon, and then you want certainty. But I think when someone is certain about something, I think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, I think certainty is good when it comes to driving, brain surgery, and love.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be certain with love. Now, how has failure or apparent failure in your life helped set you up for successes?
Well, I mean, I think that's pretty easy. It's just like you have to learn from your mistakes. If you're drawing anatomy wrong, you have to fix it. If you're presenting your work wrong to someone in portfolios, like you have to fix it. Failure is important. It's like Scott Adams. Are you familiar with Scott Adams?
He did Dilbert.
Yeah. But he writes a lot of books. Like one of his books is called Winning Bigly, and it's just like or he has another book that's called How to Fail at Everything and Still Succeed. And it's basically just talking about you just have to take what you have failed at and you put that into a skill set and you put that into a column that you can like use that as a stepping stone. So I mean, like failures are important. It's like you can't. No one hits a direct target every time. Everyone has to tweak a little bit and improve. Everyone.
Right. You are correct. You are very correct, sir. Yeah, I feel like failures have been the best paving stones for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we receive most of our lessons, and I think also you can't be afraid of failing.
Mm-hmm.
The fear of failure is could lead to paralysis, and paralysis is inaction, which is like an ultimate failure.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, that's something that I really learned a lot about in my early art career with bringing my portfolio around to conventions and showing my portfolio to professionals and editors.
Yeah.
And not all of them are 100% correct, but it's important to listen to what they have to say, even the assholes,
Sure.
It's like so many times you've gotten an editor or a artist on a bad day, and they're looking at your portfolio and they're just going to take it apart. On the other hand, I think there's another mouse over here.
Nice.
Hey, sweetheart. Oh Lord.
You need to start hiding mice in your illustrations, man.
Dude, I'm gonna post one as soon as I get out of here. As soon as we catch this thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Get that mouse. Get it.
Can you give me 1 second to catch this mouse?
Yeah, do it. I'm gonna bring up Johnny Fantasm.
Okay? All right. Plug my book while I chase down this mouse.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick you, but I'm gonna pay attention to you in the back. All right, let's take a look at Johnny Fantasm, guys. I'm excited. I'm watching him in the back room going after this mouse. It's pretty awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, his cat's just chilling. Let's see. All right. Let's take a look at Johnny Fantasm here. We've got Johnny Fantasm 1977. Looks like the total went up. Thank you guys for helping support this book. I'm very excited to get mine. I'm supposed to be getting mine here pretty soon. It says it's shipping in June, which will be anytime soon. This package is pretty dang cool. You get the comic, sticker pack, postcards, baseball card. I was hook, line, and sinker based off of this cover alone. I love the way it looks. I love the colors. I love the vibe. I like Patrick's sell on it, that it's Scarface meets Beetlejuice. I think that's pretty damn cool. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Do a Mousetrap variant sketch goal. I like that. That movie Mousetrap is great. Mousetrap or Mouse Hunt. Anyway, you guys should definitely back Johnny Fantasm. It's an incredible value. If you go and say, pick this one up, it's the $15 3-pack. You get all 3 comics for $15. It's $5 a piece, which is an incredible value. And you can get that right to your door, which is really, really, really terrific. Happy Thursday to you guys. I had a few of you in the chat ask how I was feeling. I'm feeling about 60% of myself. I know it sounds like a low number, but I have a bit of happiness in my soul that lets me break through the pain. Percocets help as well, but they're not doing as well as they were earlier. And he's going after that mouse. I wish I could show it. Let's just sneak him in. Look at, there he is. Get that mouse. Get that fucking mouse. He's back. He's back. There you are.
Oh man.
That looked awesome.
Like, that poor mouse has like the most terrified look on his face because he's got like, I don't know, like 5 cats coming after him.
Yeah.
I saved his life. I actually, like, what I did was I took the most aggressive cat and I just threw him outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we'll worry about the mouse later, because I mean the mouse dude, he's like my fucking thumb, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like he's not doing anything.
Yeah, we used to live in this area in California called Coyote Estates. And we had all kinds of things, lizards and mice and all those things. And we had back there we had 5 cats too. We had chickens as well, but like they used to just bring us the trophies on the day, which was good.
I mean, like, you know, like at my mom's house, like her cats are always bringing in snakes.
Oh yeah, bring them. Eddie Winkler says, "I just backed Johnny Fantasm." My man,
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, sir. That's excellent. That is excellent. All right. What is one of the most worthwhile investments you've ever made? Whether it was something you purchased, whether it was time you put into something. Is there an investment you've made recently or over your life that you feel is the most worthwhile?
My wife.
My man.
Yeah. I mean, like, I got married a little late in life, and she's not sitting here. She's outside, so I'm not doing this just to get some later.
Nah, lucky man.
She's really organized, and
Yeah.
she really helped me kind of, move from teaching, because I'm teaching has been my main gig for like the past like 12 years. Like, I was teaching at Ringling, which is like a computer animation school, and now I'm teaching at the State College of Florida. And I wanted to get away from teaching because, like teaching was nice because it was a paycheck you could always count on,
Mm.
But I really wanted to make a comic book. So a couple years ago, I've been with her for 4. A couple years ago, I was sick of teaching and I wasn't getting really. I mean, I enjoyed the students, but I didn't enjoy the bigwigs at school. I used to always get arguments with them.
Yeah.
Especially about tuition costs. I was always like an advocate for smaller tuition. But she was really great because when I was done with like when I quit working at this one specific school and I was going to go teach at a school that I was going to be doing much less work, she's like, "Why don't you do a comic book? Like you've been wanting to do a comic book for a while." So she's been kind of like the driving force behind Giant Fantasm for me on the home front. Like constantly encouraging me to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
You need that. You definitely need that. What's up, Mr. W? Good to see you. Been a while. Good to see you, my man.
And also what's great about her is, it's like I explained the whole CG thing to her, and she's all about it. Like she loves it.
Good. Yeah. That anybody with a head on their shoulders that isn't believing the propaganda from the other side will understand exactly why we're doing what we're doing.
Well, it's funny because it's like now when she listens to me, listening to podcasts and talking about safe places in Snowflake, like she just rips it apart. She's like, "Why did they do that?"
Right.
So how old is she?
This is Lily Bell. She's turning 9 on Monday. That's Patrick. You say hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
My daughter's gonna be 8 in like a month.
Okay, they're about the same age. He was
Yeah.
telling me about a place called Ollie's that sells. He says they may sell Monster High dolls because they have old backstock.
Oh no, absolutely they do.
Look what
I would bet you. I'm gonna bet you money. It's like
You're in Georgia?
Yes.
I mean, lots of stuff. So bring your wallet, Dad.
Yeah, I will. What's up, Lars? How are you, man?
You shall take me there as soon as this coronavirus is over.
Yeah, see, even though she's at least she's patient enough. As soon as this virus is over, your birthday's happening soon, kid. Yeah, I mean, I think that I've done a few stints myself as a teacher, and like the most value I found outside of the rewarding aspect of seeing a student grow.
Yeah,
there's nothing like planting seeds and watching the fruit of that seed happen.
So fulfilling.
Yeah, I love that. But I the other thing too is I found, and we discussed this the other day, the fact that sometimes you get that question, which is a 2-word question, which is "but why?" And you find that you have to explain your position on things. And sometimes I found that, because I taught layout and theory, and I was saying, you do it like this, and you think about it like this, and you do this, and then they say, "But why?" Yeah. And then you go, "Oh shit! Like I know it because I know it, but I've never considered why."
First day of illustration class with me, like what we go over is the rule of thirds and the golden ratio.
Yeah.
So it's like my why answer, it has come back to that. That is a new a composition, a number pi. That human beings are attracted to. It's just something that it's in all nature. And it's like whenever you see photography, whenever you see movies, like whenever you see comics, I mean, that's the difference between. I mean, let's talk about someone like Mike Mignola. Yeah. Like Mike Mignola has a lot of people that are kind of like clones of Mike Mignola. Yeah. And they're good. You know what I'm saying? Like they're super good. And I mean, and I myself mimic some of the things that he does. But one of the reasons why Mike Mignola is so good is because he has the rule of thirds embedded in his soul. He knows how to tweak things just even a centimeter over it that makes it look perfect.
Yeah.
And he spends forever, doing his process work, and then he'll go ahead and ink like 10 pages like in one day.
Yeah.
Drink that water. Is that still?
No, it's got a little gas in it, but it's
That's good.
natural.
Yeah, yeah.
It's from, where is this from? This
It looks
is
Italian.
possibly. I think it's a product of Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Gerolsteiner. There's a store out here called Earth Fair, and they all went out of business
Uh-huh.
right before all this COVID stuff hit, and they were selling everything at like 80% off. So I went in there. It's like a health/grocery store. Like all that stuff that I sent you pictures of, like the mushroom supplements and things like that. The reason I bought so many is usually like a bottle is like $50, but I was getting them at like $15. So I was like, give me 3 of those. I bought a few cases of this stuff because it was mad cheap. Now, back on questions. We could go derail all night long. You're a lot of fun to talk to.
Yeah, we almost got derailed on our mushroom conversation right there. We were close, like we were coming up, and like the light was flashing, like in the train, and I almost hit the thing where it switches it, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And but the mushroom side is like the crazy side that's like missing pieces of the track.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get into it. Lars, thank you for the DKKs. I don't know what a DKK is, but I like it because it looks like Dark Knight. Thank you so much. Do you two like Foster's Prince Valiant's fave of mine? I personally like it. There's a smoothness. The Alex Raymond ended up doing some stuff. Hal Foster did his stuff. I feel like Al Williamson got a lot from it. I think Frazetta maybe took some cues from it. I think it's beautiful work.
Yeah, when I was going to school at the Joe Kubert School, they had some of those original pages in the hall.
Oh my gosh, how was that?
And it was just like one of those things where you just stop and you just look at it, and that's another person that, like the rule of thirds, everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, like all the greats, like not to harp on this rule of thirds, but Frazetta or Bernie Wrightson or Jim Lee or like all these guys, like it's the rule of thirds. Like, I mean, there's so many dudes out there that have anatomy that is as interesting as Jim Lee's, like that type of medical type of schooling of anatomy. But it's the rule of thirds that kind of like puts them over the edge as far as making them stand out.
The aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy on the eyes. Now, what is the book or books you've given the most as a gift? And
well, I mean, I was thinking about that, like seriously, like it's been Johnny Phantasm because again, like, I've done any comics before, but when I go watch punk bands play or metal bands or I'm hanging out with someone, it's like, especially with like bands, like when I was talking about that hip hop punk rock band called Horror.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to share them something that I made, and it's like it's hard to kind of do that in a 10 or 15-minute conversation. So I always have my satchel and I always got my books with me. And I was just like, I talked to the dude about their music and about their influences. And I just give them a book like, hey, enjoy this. But I, like whenever I go to like music festivals and stuff like that, it's like I always try to share my art, and I've really been doing that a lot with Johnny Fantasm because I just really enjoy it and I want people to enjoy it too.
Excellent. Let's take a look at your campaign real quick. I'm going to hit this refresh button. We were at 3546, which is better than 3456. Let's take a look. Yo, look at that number jump. 3711.
Thanks, guys.
711. You guys are making
187%.
Yo, 711. You guys, you guys have 7-Elevens in Florida?
Dude, they have 7-Elevens. They have 7-Elevens in Antarctica.
They don't have them here in Georgia.
What?
Yeah, I haven't seen one single 7-Eleven. They have Quick Trips. They have a few other gas station type places. I have not seen one 7-Eleven. I've been jonesing for a Slurpee like a fiend.
Have you searched for Ollie's? Have you searched for a 7-Eleven?
Let me do this right now. I've never.
There's probably one like right around the corner.
Let's see. I don't want to delete this tab because it's my I'm a cannabis fan, and sometimes I miss the things I write in 7-Eleven near me. You allow, let's see, 7-Eleven locations and hours near Atlanta, Georgia. You know how a lot of times it'll pop up a map with locations and things?
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Atlanta. There's some in deep Atlanta, Georgia, like Atlanta proper, which is like 45 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there are none in my town. Like nothing popped up even remotely close to me.
Well, hopefully there's one on the way to Ollie's.
Yeah, heck yeah, that
Yeah,
would
it's
be.
very interesting. You know, like living in New Jersey, like there weren't any Denny's anywhere.
See, that's what I'm saying. And Denny's.
I guess it was it's just because like every corner there's like a diner or something, you know?
Sure.
Where are you
Sure.
from?
I grew up in Northern California in a town called Martinez, which is about 40 miles outside of San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
But I moved down to Orange County near LA in 92, and I lived there from 92 till 2018. We just got out here in October of 18, so
That's an interesting time to live in Orange County. I mean, Orange County used to be considered like rednecks and like hillbillies and like roughnecks, and then it totally like changed in that matter of like 15, 20 years.
It ended up in bros, you know, a lot of hey bros happening. Johnny Dogood says, Frega, you got to check out Stony River Steak, was awesome, and dinners rolls addicting. For sure. In fact, I know where one is, and I had mentioned it to my wife, and then shit hit the fan, and now we don't go anywhere. Like the things I miss the most, like the things I have cravings for that I have those dreams about, is sushi and ramen.
Oh
sushi,
yeah, like my girl
is
flipping out about sushi right now.
Yeah, that we need it, and I don't feel like doing one of those Diner Dash or DoorDash things. Do they have an A+ in Atlanta? I'm not sure if they have an A+. It's worth checking into, though. All right, we have 2 more questions for you, man, and then I want to talk about the future for you, sir, and the future of Johnny Fantasm. Second to last question: who are your top 5 influences in your life, or either artistically or on you as a human being?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I would say just like as a person, like my mom has to be at the top of that list.
Yeah.
You know, she raised me as a single mom, and she was an RN and a BSN her entire life, so she was like a serious nurse, you know. And one of the things that was inspiring about her, like being a nurse, was she wasn't doing it for the money. Like my mom was a nurse because she loved doing it. And that is one of the things I picked up the most from her, is like the reason why I'm doing comic books, the reason why I'm doing art is it's not because I want to get rich, you know. It's like no one goes into comics looking to get rich, you know. Like there's a possibility for it, absolutely, but I mean, like if you're going to comic books, like you're doing it because you love doing it, and that's something that I picked up from her like the most is, just do something that you love because it's going to make you happy. And my mom was like a nurse for a very, very long time, and she was very pleased to the very, very end.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I definitely do comics for the money, but not the money isn't the end result. The money will facilitate doing more comics.
Mm-hmm.
And also money allows for freedom and allows you to do things on your own terms. I love drawing comics, but I'll tell you, I had a few disappointments in my career. Like, my dream was to draw Spider-Man. I finally get to draw an issue of Spider-Man, and he appears in 2 panels in the whole book.
Yeah.
The rest of the book was a monster story. And I'm like, oh, that sucks, Or I get to draw Wolverine for 5 issues, but I never get to draw him in his costume. I have to draw him in street clothes the whole time. I'm like, God, man.
Well, I mean, like not to sound cheesy, but like the way that I feel about like comics and my comics and Johnny Phantasm is like if I build it, like they will come. It's like I know it sounds like a cheesy line from a real cheesy movie, but it's like I feel like if I do something that I'm enjoying, it's going to come out into work, and then the revenue is going to come in.
Sure, yeah, but build the dream first and do it with passion, and people will sense the passion. Absolutely.
I mean, artistic wise, like as far as my influences are concerned, I mean, we already talked about him. Like Alex Toth is definitely like one of my main guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like from the work that he did with like Super Friends, and also the Fox, but also like dudes like Joe Kubert, who I studied under, and Adam and Annie Kubert were like a huge influence on me storytelling wise. Like a lot of the instructors that I had at the Kubert School, like really kind of like got me to where I am mentally with art. So it's like of course, like I grew up loving Jim Lee and Joe Madureira and those guys, but it's really like the guys that like taught me, or the guys that kind of like influenced me the most.
Heck yeah. All right. So here's the last question. After that, we'll talk about Johnny Phantasm's future, and then, if you're not scared, I put the link in the chat, and I invite some of the audience members in to hang out with us a bit. So the last question, it's one of those questions that's a chin scratcher. What would you like your legacy to be when you're gone? What do you want people to say about you?
I guess that I was like a good person who just stayed true. Like I want to be viewed as someone that like had a passion to do something and they did it. I don't want to be like remembered as someone that like tried but couldn't, or did something else because it was more money. Like I want someone to look back at me and be like, that dude just killed it. Like he just got this idea, whether it be Johnny Phantasm or some of my new ideas that I'm working on. He just took his ideas and he killed it. That's what I want my legacy like to be. Because I mean, if you go to my YouTube channel, it's like I do a lot of paintings, I do a lot of demos and stuff like that, and it's like I do a lot of different things as far as mixed media is concerned, or painting, or pen and ink, or even some animation. And I want to just be known as like just a dude that just like killed it.
What's the name of your for the chat? What's the name of your YouTube channel?
Oh, it's Riot Press Productions.
I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah, feel free. I mean, like, and like I'm kind of like feeling out like what I want to do on there. Like I'm definitely into the time lapse like stuff, but I also like doing like toy reviews as well, because like I'm into vintage toys and things like that. Every Sunday, like we have a show at 1 p.m. Malin was on 2 weeks ago. Adam Post was on last weekend. And we cover CG stuff, but we also just cover like industry stuff too. Again, that's on that's Sunday at 1 p.m. usually. It might be 2 p.m. this Sunday because I have a special guest coming on.
Excellent. And you did a Man at Arms here. I'm going to check that one out. I'm excited to check that one out.
Yeah, I've been on a huge like Masters of the Universe kick recently, like collecting the toys or just the cartoon stuff or collecting comics. I went out and got issues 1, 2, and 3 of the original series in DC.
Yeah. Those are good. Did you get the Star Comics one too?
No.
Yeah, there's like the Star Comics version. There's a Marvel Comics. Did them for a little while, and then DC. They ended up at DC. Excellent. So, do you have your screen ready? Show us a little bit of what's coming up for.
Okay, so
Johnny
yeah, so like one of the things I want to talk about with Johnny Phantasm is, this story is called 1977, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow this evolution of this character. Like we're starting off in 1977, but the next one is called Johnny Phantasm Halloween 1985. Now, it's something that like we're gonna try to do different a little bit than some of the other Comicsgate people, because a lot of the Comicsgate dudes are doing like these like once a year type of big graphic novels, more of like a European type style, which is awesome. It's like I love Black Sad. I love all those like European type of comics. But something that I've always wanted to do since I was younger, and then going to school for it, is I wanted to do like, there we go. There we go. And that's another one. When I need inspiration, I just break out that book. That's like it's almost too much inspiration, though. It's like you can't like look through the whole thing. You're like,
It's over. Wanho is a
but
freaking
I mean,
maniac.
like that is a good business model, and I think Ethan and John and those guys are rocking that business model where you just do like one super sweet book a year or two super sweet books a year.
Yeah.
Something that I'm going to try to do, and again, we're doing help with, or we're using some help from Alterna Comics in this. Is we're going to do kind of like a quarterly or like every 3-month issue that we're going to be posting on Indiegogo. And we're going to let that ride for a little while, and then we're going to do a nice, big, fat collected edition.
Excellent.
So right now, even though Johnny Phantasm 1977 is available, I'm halfway done with Johnny Phantasm 1985. So as soon as we're done fulfilling Johnny Phantasm, which will be probably by the end of June, we're putting up the campaign for Johnny Phantasm 1985. And the reason why we're doing this is because like the comics store model is just not working. I think we all agree that direct to consumer is the best way to go. Like when I order toys, when I order comics, I order that stuff online now. Especially with like this whole like situation that we're in. Like I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be coming and going. That this isn't going to be just
more mice.
Sweetheart, can you put him outside and we'll worry about the mouse later? Just take him outside and we'll worry about the mouse later. That's my wife. Say hi, Winnie. Holding the cat. Come back here.
Hey, how are you?
This is the mouse chaser.
He's awesome. He's huge.
That's the baby.
That's the baby.
Yeah.
My goodness. My goodness.
But so something that we're gonna do, as far as like what's different than some of the other Comicsgate people is we're gonna try to do like a tri-monthly type of release. Not as strict as Brian Pulido, what he's doing, but like something that I've always adored and something that I've wanted to do is like something that is kind of like on a schedule, like all the great artists that I look at. Again, Alex Toth, Adam Kubert, Jim Lee, all these dudes. I mean, even Ethan got to do a monthly for a while, and that's something that I always wanted to do. It's like I wanted to do something that was on a schedule. I mean, and I don't have the biggest crowd, so I feel like this is kind of like a way that I can kind of like earn my kind of like my street cred a little more. It's like just by releasing books, and then eventually we're gonna do like that big fat like Johnny Phantasm like graphic novel.
Well, enough for the teasing, man. Do you got anything ready to show?
New stuff, right?
Yeah. Share your screen.
All right. Let's see.
What's up, #1 Marvel fan? Good to see you, homie. He says, damn mice to come into my store at times. Pain in the butt. I'm going to use peanut butter on sticky pads. It's a good idea, man. Except if I end up in your store, I'm going to have sticky pads stuck all over my face. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter and bacon. I haven't tried that yet. That'll get me going.
Even I've tried that.
Say what?
I said even I've tried peanut butter and bacon.
Have you? Is it good?
No.
What? It sounds like it might work, though. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, look at that, man. Look at that. That's pretty.
So, I mean, if you check out Johnny Phantasm 1977 and then you check out, 1985, you're definitely going to see a progression that I'm doing stylistically, and that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like the 1977 is a little bit more of like a throwback type of pulp type of feel. Because not only is there stuff happening in 1977, there's also stuff that's happening in the 60s. So we try to put that in the artwork.
Yeah.
As we do 85, like you're going to see like some retro stuff like kick up. You know what I'm saying? And you can see right here as far as like the eyes and the color. I'm trying to do something that's very nostalgia to myself.
Yeah.
85 was a super good year. As far as I'm concerned. Like there was a lot going on in 85.
Yeah.
But just real quick before I jump to these couple of pages, but we're going to be doing like 85, and then we're going to be doing like 92, and then we're going to be doing 2001, and then we're going to be doing like 2020. So it's like we're going to watch this journey of like Johnny Phantasm go from being like a mob boss to I don't want to give too much away, but I mean the dude is evolving. And like in a nutshell, it's very similar to like if a dude started off as the Joker,
Yeah,
and then he ended up as Batman at the end of it, if you can imagine such a thing.
I can. That's cool. We did the opposite on that on He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse. We took Keldor and saw him devolve into Skeletor.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I love that whole little story there. Like, don't get me going on Masters of the Universe. I'll get derailed.
I know. Listen.
All right, so I mean, like what I'm going to show is just a couple of pages. I'm going to jump in right there. Like this is actually page 9.
Ooh.
Again, so like I'm halfway done with the book. As of right now, I think within the next couple of weeks, I should be kind of wrapping it up, and they're going to be doing the lettering. And I do, Evan Posios is the writer with this, and he and I kind of plot the story out together.
Yeah.
But I do everything else. I do the roughs, the layouts, the pencils, and the inks, and then the coloring and the lettering. It's all me.
Wow. Well, Warner, you do it all.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that, like, I definitely agree with, like, Eddie Pisker on. It's like being able to control everything. There's something that's very satisfying about it. I mean, opposed to like when you're jamming on like storyboards. I mean, storyboards pay like really well, but it's like when you do comics, like you have the ability to be the complete master of your own domain.
That's absolutely right. My style though, I wouldn't get shit out. If I pencil and inked and colored and lettered, I would grind down to definitely a book a year. Like my plan eventually is 3 books a year. But it would grind down to
yeah. Well, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever scratch that creative itch.
Yeah. Rancid Potato asks, how far ahead is your story planned out?
I would say it's planned out to 2001 right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like before we bolt, like I want to point out, like there's a dude that is in 1977. He's like kind of like this ninja like assassin guy, and he's very strategically he looks like a mix between like Snake Eyes and like a Power Ranger. Now, like we totally based him off like one of the very early Super Sentai type of characters. And he's gonna be coming back in the 1992 series, which is like basically Johnny versus like an evil group of like Power Rangers. So it's like, yeah, this story goes deep. It's not like we're not shooting from the hip on this. Like we're definitely planning something out timeline wise. It's going to be an adventure. It's going to be like it's going to be an experience to kind of travel with Johnny on this journey.
Yeah.
Anywho, so this is page number 9, and I'm just kind of just showing the sequence that I've been working on this week. I have other stuff that I'm not ready to show, but I mean everyone understands that. So just a quick spoiler alert: we're looking at these pages. Like this is actually kind of like a dream sequence that Johnny is having that he wakes up from. So that's why he looks like a little kid here. If someone's like, "What? Like, why is Johnny like a little kid?"
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like him kind of having a dream sequence, and he kind of busts out of it here in a second, but. So this is Johnny, just going through this dream sequence, a lot of dialogue. But something that I pride myself with is like I really like try to play with like shapes. I want interesting shapes moving the eyes around. With the tentacles or just the perspective, how the perspectives kind of like zigzag across the page. I try to keep the eye like moving.
Yeah. Unique too, even on a 2D level, you have that circle on one side and the extending panels, and then you have the open panel with the lady in it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Can you see my hand moving on the screen? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I can.
So it's like the way that we wrote these 4 panels right here.
Yeah.
It's almost like when we put the balloons in, you're going to be able to read them in any order. That's kind of like the way that I write. It's like you could start over here and go this way. It's just like a fun kind of way, an ambient dream type of state where it's just like you can just read any of the balloons and it's all going to make sense.
Excellent.
So, and also, I mean, just to go back in here, I'm a super big fan of like the double page spread panel layout, kind of like widescreen action.
Let's see it.
Well, that's what I was talking about. Was that one?
Oh.
And then this is kind of like the climax of the dream, and like I don't want to give too much away, but this is like kind of like the main type of monster situation that's happening in 1985. He's basically like a kind of like a pumpkin little shop of horrors type of situation happening under the city. There's some Halloween 3 influence. There's some It influence, and also like some James Bond influence as well. You know,
Yeah, it's always fun, man.
some Timothy Dalton, the best James Bond.
Oh, stop, man! Sean Connery is the best.
Yeah, I know. It gets people fired up. Like when I say that Timothy Dalton was the best.
You know what's funny, man? Every time I think about how there's different Bonds,
Mhm.
there was a time in my childhood, and by some of the references you've been talking about, I think you and I grew around the same time. But do you remember when Dukes of Hazzard was on, and they had one season where
And they changed?
Yes,
What the dude? That
cousin.
wasn't the biggest mind fuck as a kid.
Yeah, it was Coy and Vance. And I remember my mom was like, "Aren't you going to watch your Dukes of Hazzard?" I'm like, "Hell no." I'm like, "I'm no fan of Coy and Vance." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "I want, Bo and Luke. I don't want Coy and Vance."
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, who's your favorite James Bond?" And I was like, "Roger Moore, of course." And because I was a kid, like Roger Moore. And she's like, "Well, he wasn't the first. It's, Sean Connery." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So I like this one and you like that one." And she's like, "Yes." She's like, "Give them a chance." And I'm like, "Nah, Ma, Coy and Vance suck." You were good. Yeah, Coy and Vance.
They were like poor man's versions of the original crew.
Yeah, Tom Wopat. You're John Schreider. No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, good times, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, I was just like, what? It was almost like when I found out there was a vehicle Voltron, I was like, what?
Yeah, Voltron is dope. You got anything else? Because I'm popping the link into the chat. You guys look at the link is inside the chat. If you guys want to come in and join the show. If you guys have any questions for Patrick, or if you guys just want to talk stuff, Mr. Biggins, if you want to come on in, that was an interesting topic. We could talk about that probably maybe another time. But if you want to come on in, talk.
What was it? What was the topic?
Just the comic cartoonist kayfabe and the way they block people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll just run down this real quick, and I'm going to show some of the process. So
Ooh, DeLorean.
So this is Johnny waking up from his dream in 1985, and this is kind of how his look has kind of evolved. He's got a little bit of he's got kind of like a black turtleneck, and I'm trying to make him look more 80s. He's got like a mullet. Obviously, he's rocking.
Mullet.
He's rocking the DeLorean, and I specifically made it red because I wanted it to be reminiscent of the Camaro from Mask.
Yes.
So this is kind of like him that's talking to his guys. No, like what's funny is in Johnny Phantasm 1977, he's part of the Spade gang. That's like his gang, right?
Yeah.
And then by the end of this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, but it's kind of fun at the same time. By the end of Johnny's 1977, he picks up the Diamond Gang.
Okay, stop, man. I haven't got my books yet.
Well, there's a spoiler here, but maybe this might entice some people.
Okay, go on.
But I mean, like the whole thing about New Detroit, which is the fictional city that he lives in, is based off of Detroit. Is like it's all about gambling. It's all about casinos, and it's like each gang is like a card, and it's like we don't even talk about that. We don't mention it. It's all a visual thing. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to grab all the decks. He wants all the faces. So in this one, here he's teamed up with the Diamond Gang, and we can kind of see that they got the diamond patches, but they got the spades on their shoulder. And these guys are called like the Fingerprint Gang. But then something I wanted to share is like these are kind of like my roughs. So like
that's a rough.
I know it's a rough. My roughs are really tight, but I go from roughs to inks.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you'll see like these cards over here, like these cards are all trash, and these people are trash. But I'll go back and I'll be a little more specific with the inks and stuff like that. But I do tight inks so I can kind of skip out the pencils. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Now, you're working? Are you working for digital are you working full digital? Are you working?
So what I do, I think it's similar to what you do. Is I do everything digitally, and then I print it out on blue line, and then I ink it, because I mean, like I've done a couple of projects where I've inked digitally. Like for a while there, I had a run at Dungeons and Dragon, and all the illustrations that I was doing, I was inking them digitally. And I just couldn't get the same feel that you can get from like not only like a brush, but like a sponge or a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Like I still like using like Zipatone.
100%.
So it's like, as far as planning, digitally is definitely the way to go. I mean, I think it's undisputed, because it's like you can move things around so quickly. If something is bad, you can shrink it or move it, replace things, take things from others, and kind of piece it together. And then you can basically print out a perfect blue line composition, and then you go in for all the deets.
That's right.
So this is kind of, this is where the story is going, like after this little sequence. And then here's some more. Again, like I'm a really big fan of the double page spread.
Yeah.
Just telling story, long wise. Scott McCloud talked about, like long panels take up a long period of time. So I like using long panels and kind of bringing the viewer in. I'm not going to talk too much about the story. Just going to kind of let it soak in, because I don't want to spoil everything. But again, like right now, like we're pushing Johnny Phantasm 1977. But as we speak, I'm already working on the next book, which is Johnny Phantasm 1985. And then this is kind of like a little scene where all these little kids are kind of like attacking Johnny.
Yeah. Hey, your number went up, my friend.
Well, that's cool. Thank you, guys.
You got some more people back in the book.
Well, I appreciate that.
Check that out. 3786. No more 711. You're at 786.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. That's exciting. Oh, look, we're back. We're seeing the beautiful 1985, seeing some 1980 or 77, 85. I was alive both of those years. All
Did you enjoy 85?
What's that?
Did you enjoy 85? Were you in high school or middle school?
I was in 7th grade. So
Really?
yeah, I had really good memories about 85. Of course, Back to the Future being one of my favorites, and when I think about 7th grade, I think about like Duran Duran and Breakfast Club and Home Ec and the Ninja Turtles and like all that stuff. So 85 was a good year. Good year.
Yeah, it's like I kind of feel bad for future generations that they won't be able to experience. I mean, like especially when it comes to cartoons and toys and stuff like that. That was a very magical time that we'll never capture again. I mean, Saturday morning cartoons, and then just like the 80s pop with all those toys. I mean, all those toys that are still around today.
That's right. That's the beginning. We were that generation where they were advertising to us in cartoons, and we ate that shit up.
Well, it's very, something I think about often is like, when we were kids, and like Spider-Man was around before we were born. It's like, like when we were born, Spider-Man was already around for like 30 or so years.
He was around for 10 years.
10 years, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, still, he was around for a minute, and it's like that's how a lot of kids are now with like characters like Snake Eyes or like Optimus Prime. It's like,
right.
Like, Optimus Prime is like this iconic character that I would say is to par with Superman. As far as his look goes.
Yeah, what's crazy when you think about it? If you subtract 35 years away from 1975, you're looking at 1940. Okay, so think about that. I was born in 73, so you take 35 years off of there, you're looking at 1938. Okay, Optimus Prime was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Like in 1938, like kids were chasing like hula hoops with like sticks down the hill.
That's right. That's right. 1986, that was an epic year. Dark Knight Returns, Elektra, Assassin, The Watchmen.
Well, I mean, something that's going to be happening in the next story after Johnny Phantasm 85 is we're definitely moving into like that Dark Knight Returns feel.
Excellent.
Like we're writing for 92, but we might be doing flashbacks in 92 of 1989, and we're going to do very heavy like Tim Burton Batman, Dark Knight Returns.
Excellent.
And
89 is a great year.
And one of the things that is fun about Johnny, and this is one of the reasons why we even created it, it was because we wanted to pick and choose things that we enjoyed in comic book and cartoon history that we can do our own version of.
That's what we're all about, man.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to make it fucking cool.
Have it fun. Have it be fun.
Just do our badass version of our favorite stuff. Here's this one. He's trying to get. He's looking for the mouse.
Yeah, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Mask, Thundercats, Transformers, and so on. We had the best childhood ever.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, Mask is the shit. He-Man is the shit.
Why do the Silverhawks always get forgotten? Silverhawks are badass.
The Silverhawks are so damn cool. You know, like their toys are so hard to come by. Like that have like the web part in their wing. Like
right.
Like I don't know if you follow toys at all, Dan. Do you?
I used to, but then my kids tear them apart.
Are you familiar with Super 7?
No, what's Super 7?
Well, Super 7 are the original Four Horsemen from McFarlane.
Oh, okay.
And they did over the past like 15 years, they did every single He-Man character ever. But they did the proportions like.
Oh yeah, those guys, the Four Horsemen are sculptors.
Yes. They did every single characters, or every single. Actually, I guess I'm right here. Hold on one second.
Hell yeah, Goldschlager. Star Blazers was my shit. Battleship Moto or whatever it was called. Star Blazers. That was my jam.
Things. I just got these off eBay not too long ago.
I'm making it big. I'm giving it full screen. Ooh, Man at Arms.
Well, no, these are the guards.
Those are the guards.
The guards. So these are like his homeboys.
Yeah.
But the guys who made that are the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
But Super 7 made these, and now Super 7 is making Thundercats, right?
Oh shit!
And they're getting like super detailed, like they're getting all to the obscure characters. Now these dudes that made this Master Universe, they made every single character.
Yeah.
Every single character, even the prototype characters that were never made.
Yeah.
They made the variations of like the dudes in the little He-Man comics, man. Those little tiny He-Man comics.
Yeah, of course.
Like some of those dudes were like Lockjaw was colored differently, and they released that. So now they're doing Thundercats, and they come back to what you were just saying. They're talking about doing Silverhawks next.
Okay, but hold on a second. The one thing that drove me crazy about my Thundercats toys, I ended up putting 2 kids in my comic because I was a huge Wile Kit and Wile Cat fan.
I know what you're gonna say.
You get these really cool, my Lion-O that you put the battery in his back and it lit up.
Can I finish what you were gonna say?
Yeah, do it.
They're just pieces of plastic. They don't move. They're just like little statues.
Like PVC, and they were the most active. They were up in the trees and throwing smoke bombs and shit. And then you get them, and you're like, "What am I supposed to do with these? They're not fun."
Yeah. That's kind of I mean, there's a couple flaws of the Thundercats line. They should have made them the same size as He-Man because they would have been compatible with
Yeah.
And also, what's also interesting is those old school big rubber wrestling figures.
Yes.
That's the company that made the Thundercats, so that's why they're kind of like big and blocky, and they're kind
LGN.
LGN, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I have. It's weird. I have no toy knowledge, but as soon as I start talking about toys, my brain goes, "You have toy knowledge." It's weird.
Well, I mean, so now what they're doing is, and I think they already made Kit and Kat. You should check them out. I'll send you a link.
Please do.
It's like they're super articulate. They come with the boards. Remember the little surfboards they have?
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're probably the best opening in all of animation.
Absolutely,
Thundercat.
100%.
There's a website. Let me see if I can pull it up. There was this website. Hold on, Thundercats. opener frame by frame. I think it exists. There it is. There it is. There it is. I'm going to open it up. Bum, bum, bum. No, that's not it. Where is it at? This one says frame by frame, but it's not it. This website had taken the entire opener and broke it down into individual frames, so you could go through the entire opening
and just see how perfect it is.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's very interesting because like when I went back and watched Thundercats again, in my older years, I remembered the whole cartoon as good as that intro. It's like
it's not.
It's not, but but in my mind I remembered it, and then when I saw it, I was like, shit, I'm just gonna watch the intro like again and again and again.
Yeah, the intro, shit. Thundercats are on the loose. The Thundercats are loose.
Well, I mean, you know a lot about animation. Like, there's a lot of in betweens in those in that sequence. Like, that isn't just like, how Disney does like 100 frames.
Well, it's 24 frames per second.
But I'm saying, like, sometimes in animation they skip some, But that intro, they were doing more in betweens.
Yeah. So the way they do it is they here's the one of the. Let me see if I can find it. Did I find it? Click on the mosaic below. That's not it, but it's close. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's not loading. What you're talking about is animating on ones. So that what that is it's there are actually 24 frames per second, and each gesture there's 24 changes per second.
Yeah.
What you're talking about, which happens in a lot of the limited animation, is they animated on twos. So shot frame 1 and 2 are the same. Frame 3 and 4 are the same. Frames 5 and 6 are the same. So there's still 24 frames per second, but there's only 12 drawings spread over those 24.
Yeah.
It's,
and it's just something that gives that intro like so much energy.
Hell yeah. And I mean, the fact that they start off with that beam and like
Classic,
and the way they all enter.
It's classic like manga style, like you're going up the horizon. What's another good sequence is the sequence when Optimus Prime rolls up to that fight scene in Transformers the movie.
Well, yeah.
It's like those two scenes, the intro, the Thundercats, and that whole situation where he boosts. Somehow he gets rockets. I don't know how he gets rockets, but Optimus Prime suddenly gets rockets and he just boosts up in the air. Classic.
The stuff of childhood dreams for sure. If anybody wants to join in, we've got the link inside the chat. You can jump on in. I see some familiar faces in there. If you guys want to come in, Death Metal Luke, Leg Kick. If you guys want to join, you don't have to. I'm having a good time with Patrick, but this is the part of the show where we can do that.
You know what's interesting was when you had Pat Lee on the other night. I paid for his super chat and you never asked him.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed it. Do you know what it was?
Yeah. I wanted to know what his favorite third-party Transformer company is. Do you know what that is?
I don't, man. I'm sorry.
So in China, obviously they don't have very good copyright laws.
Right. Yeah.
So like when you go to a convention and like let's say you buy like a print of Optimus Prime, like obviously Hasbro didn't give that person the right to do it. They just did it, right?
Yeah.
Well, these dudes over in China right now are doing like indie toys of Optimus Prime, but they call them something like Leader One, like they give him a different name, or like City Commander or something like that. But a lot of these companies have been blowing Hasbro out of the water as far as quality and articulation and then their transformation. But it's a big type of deal like in Hong Kong and China about third-party companies. And yeah. I was just very interested of if he had a favorite third-party company. So next time you see him,
yeah, I'll talk to him a bunch and I'll get that for you. And thanks for the super chat. I'm sorry I missed it.
No, you're fine. You were busy. I liked watching his face when he was watching Hell Salad.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, "What am I watching?"
I've already seen Hell Cells a couple times before that, so I was like, I'm just gonna watch Pat Lee's face.
That's excellent.
And then I liked what he said afterwards. He was like, "So, like, this is what you guys do all the time?"
This is what you do. What have I walked into? Pedro, you're absolutely right, dude. I slip of the tongue. Limited animation. You're right. It's like what's his name, Captain whatever, where it's a face. Fred Flintstone's limited animation, where it's like walk, they stop, and just the hand moves or just the arm moves. I forget what it's called when you do you animate it on twos. We have brand new folks that are going to jump in. We've got let's see, we have Mr. Matt Yackey. Matt Yackey.
Hello, guys. How's it going?
Matt Yackey is the colorist of Black Flag and the art director of Incredible Comics.
All right.
This is Patrick Thomas. He's the yeah.
No. There we go.
You know this guy. And then let's welcome Read Comics. They're bad for you. Welcome.
Oh, they are. They're terrible.
Hello, I'm Chris Williams.
What's up, man?
Hi.
I have my own independent. I'm doing pretty well. I've been on Ethan Van Sciver's stream once.
Wait, I know who you are.
And I've also had Cecil and John.
Wait, no, I know who you are. You're the Starpoon guy. Am I wrong?
Yep, I'm the creator of Buick Starpoon.
I knew it. I
Nope,
know your voice, man.
Right on.
Like your voice is so characteristic. I'm going to bring in Dan Plagle as well. Dan Plagle, welcome.
Fantastic.
Yo!
We get to be with Buick Starpoon.
Hey, buddy.
So everybody's doing well.
I was trying to bring up some of the.
Oh yeah, share your screen, dude. Share your screen. I want to see some poon.
Not just yet. I'm still searching for the best panels I wanted to show first, but I'll continue to talk and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking for the best. And just get this up. See, I'm just searching through the artwork I have up here that I want to show off. Damn it, I'm looking for the right one. See, I had a lot of these to find the right one and stuff like that.
It's all good.
I guess that's good enough.
I'm gonna ask Mr. Plagle. What are you up to, Mr. Plagle?
Just got up, took a shower, was up all last night working on art. So I've been lazy. Saw you were in here posting in here with the Johnny Phantasm Master.
That's
Like
right.
almost 10 at night.
Patrick, this guy down here, this is my buddy Dan. Another
Come on, Matt.
really talented guy.
It's hot here, man. You have to work at night.
Where do you live, Dan?
Conditioning is at premium.
Where do you live?
California,
Right on.
down in Orange County, about
Okay.
20 minutes from Disney.
You find something?
How are things going down there right now?
I don't know. They're talking about stuff opening up. It's pretty quiet for the most part. I do AAA roadside, and I've been noticing a lot more people this week driving around. So I think it's starting to move around a little bit, but it's getting a little warm. So I was gonna go out to the studio right now so I could have better camera angle, but it's in the garage and it's super hot out there right now. So I was like, well, I guess I'm going back inside.
Starpoon, is it? Do you have some images ready on your screen, buddy?
He's gone.
Yep, I want to share them right now.
All right, break them out, dude. Break out that tone.
Is his audio breaking up for anybody else?
It's breaking up for me.
Okay. Okay.
I just assumed he was being quiet.
Then it's not just me.
All right, here we go. Bringing in the poon.
Hello?
Hi.
All right, you see it?
Yeah, poon it up, bro.
This is if you see right here. This is yours. Good. Here's Buick Starpoon. Basically.
Oh man,
your audio is murdered.
That's and stuff.
Yeah, the audio's. I can't.
That's better.
I was hoping it would.
Hey,
Let me try
Star-
something
yeah,
here. Let me
Star
exit out of
hey,
this. This is
call us. No, you can use the orange and white one.
That's a 3DS XL.
It'll work on that.
Oh, and that's dead
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Starpoon, why don't you call us right back, dude? There we go. Sorry, Starpoon. Oh, I sense it. I sense it. Yeah, Zaid Comic. Oh,
there we
what's
go.
up, Phil?
What's up, brothers?
How are you, man?
Hey, welcome.
Good. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. Hold on a second. My daughter was supposed to bring me a coffee. Bringing me a coffee or no? Fallon, I need another favor. I need another favor from you. Right on the counter where the chargers are, there's a box that says Zaid Comics on it. Bring it to me.
Hey Matt, can you hear me?
Chop. Yes.
What program do you use for coloring?
I'll be right back.
Photoshop.
Right on.
Yeah. What are you?
I've been using Clip Studio, like Mega Pro 5 recently.
Okay, I've heard good things. I've never used that for coloring. I haven't tried it, but I've heard some interesting things about it.
Great
I
program.
mean, it doesn't have like all the bells and the whistles of Photoshop. And what I mean by you know when you grab something in Photoshop and you move it over and it kind of like slides over real like elegantly.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have stuff like that, but I mean, its brushes and pens are pretty spot on. It's like you can tell that it's made for like cartooning.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I think isn't that what John Malin uses?
Yeah, John Malin uses it as well. Like, like in class, like I teach Photoshop, but you know, like I tell all my students that are serious about like animation because you can do a lot of animation stuff in it as well.
Yeah.
But like I tell all of them to use Mega Pro 5. I mean, it's like $40 and it's the same thing as Photoshop, and it's like you get the disc, you know.
Yeah, you can't beat that price because the Photoshop is just it's outrageous what they're charging now.
Yeah, I mean, like I rock I'm rocking like CS5. I'm rocking something really old as far as like, I mean, and I think it's fine. You know, like I know a lot of people like updating it constantly, but I mean, really, like it was good like 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh yeah, no, I have a full version of CS5 and then I upgraded to CS6, and I've been using CS6. I would prefer to be using that, but I just picked up this Cintiq, and CS6 is having issues with aligning the cursor and with the pen tool and stuff.
That sucks.
So I switched to CC, and so now I switched over completely to CC, and it works fine, but I don't like the subscription idea, and I own CS6, so you know I'd much rather use that.
Yeah, I have an old like educator version on CS5 on disc, and that's what I'm going to keep forever.
Yeah, it works perfectly good. I mean, a buddy of mine used Photoshop 3 until 2007.
Well, I mean, I would get by with 4. I mean, 3, I think might be pushing it, but I can get by with 4 pretty easily.
Yeah, 4 is good. I mean, well, you could actually do it with 3 if you. I
mean, like
I wouldn't advise it.
Like remember what was the program before Illustrator? Quark?
Yeah.
No, Quark was like a pre-press thing.
Yeah, that was. I'm not sure what was before Illustrator or what they used.
I mean, I used Quark for design stuff.
Yeah, for design stuff, but not vector.
Oh no.
Guys, I'm not going to show you this side because I don't want to dox myself. But J Money says it's party time. Zaid, you're going to like this.
Am I?
Yeah, you're going to like this, buddy. I'm going to make my screen big. This box came from Zaid Comics, as you can see. I just cut with my X-Acto blade. I just cut it open. I recently backed and happily am receiving Magic Cop.
Hail, brother!
Right on.
Oh yeah, man! And look at this. What is this cool thing back here? Oh, it's a blockhead.
Yeah, man.
Got a blockhead that I can cut out and build. I don't want to cut it out though, because I want to save that shit. You know, like people don't understand that these early books are Comicsgate history. And
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
like having the lakeside tattoo. You know, I could undo him.
Oh,
But
cool.
like having the lakeside tattoo from Amazing Spider-Man. We got the cool Lost Pages. Tells us about Lost Pages
A
coming
little
out.
flyer there for you.
Yeah, so you guys got to sign up for that the pre-launch list. We've got here Behind the Magic. This feels like an ash can. This is
That is, that's our ash can.
excellent. Ooh, I don't want to get too much into it. So you got your brother on art, you got you on writing, some cool looking stuff, and then this.
Yeah, the colors on those are beautiful.
This is what I'm into. I can't hate on anything that's got that 80s vibe. You got the wolf.
You feel that cover, man?
I do. It's
I know he's like molesting it.
silky
It's so
smooth,
good.
bro. It's silky smooth.
I know. I love that.
I'm really looking forward to getting into this, man. But thank you. I'm super stoked to get that.
Thank you, man.
Is it still in demand?
It is, yeah. We're
Excellent.
almost at 12K, so
Awesome.
nice.
That's it right there. There it is. Bam.
Yeah, check it out.
Check that shit out. Let's see. I think the Poon is back. Poon's in the house. I'm just going to call you Poon because is that okay?
That's all right, man. And I have my art
All right.
ready to show you.
All
Let's see.
right.
Let's try
Break
to
it
go
out.
over here and look at. How about that? Oh, yeah, I haven't put
Show
share
me
screen on.
the
I keep
Poon.
forgetting that. All right.
You guys ready for the Poon?
We'll start off with
Poon.
Doctor here. You see him? This is Hair Metal Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
I brought up a few panels of the have here. Here's the black and white. Also, I also brought in. This isn't. I used 3 models for Metal Doctor. Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe, Toe Cutter from Mad Max, and Ozzy Osbourne. Then I started mixing their features together. But none of these are actually what he actually looks like. But I just added these faces here because, well, I mixed them together. But I came up with a different face from mixing the features together. And I'm really proud to show this off of what I went through to actually create the actual character. Because as you can see, there's a surgical mask and a mask right here. Here, but going back to this right here, I'm really proud of what I did. This guy in the middle right here with basically in the middle, I think he looks like the God Emperor of Mankind, and I didn't want him to look like that because, well, it's not that it's just awesome. I just thought he was just too awesome for Hair Metal Doctor's face. Then I have this guy here that, well, I can't remember the actor's name, but he sort of looks like that guy. You know him. Oh, yeah, the father and the wizard.
Oh,
you know,
see, I was gonna go with
the wizard, the father.
No, I was gonna go with Silence of the Lambs. Like, would you have me? I'd have me. That guy.
Buffalo Bill.
There you go. The lotion in the basket.
I always thought this guy
Great
was
actor.
more like the father from the wizard. Now, this guy here, well, I tried to make him look like that guy from Kiss with the makeup with the star on his face.
Paul
Basically,
Stanley.
they call him the Star Child from Kiss.
Word up.
Now, I tried to add that, but I thought it was cool looking, but I thought it wouldn't really look like for Hair Metal Doctor. But I also added, here's where I basically designed his doctor's coat and stuff like that. Death Metal Doctor's stuff. He used to call him Death Metal Doctor. I call him Hair Metal Doctor because I thought it would sound too much like Death Mug, the other character I designed. And
what type of guitar is that? A BC Rick?
Pick of his I picked one and stuff like that. Oh, wait a minute. I have it. I'll have to look through a bunch of paper written down. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. String Floyd HSH Electric. DML6 String Floyd HSH Electric. I wrote down.
Oh, it's a Dean guitar. Okay.
That's what it's called.
Where can people find Starpoon? Right. Where can people find Buick Starpoon?
Well, Buick Starpoon can be usually found fighting
No,
Death
I mean,
Mug in
I
an
mean, if
epic
people
battle,
like,
the battle of who.
I kind of need to get this book. When am I going to be able to get it? That's what I'm asking.
Well, I'm still working on the art, and I'm started on the second part of this. It's going to be a 3-part graphic novel, but this is the second part, and I'm still trying to work on getting more subscribers on my YouTube. So until I get enough subscribers, I feel that I can actually get a good product out.
Yeah,
it's going to be a little while, maybe a year or two.
What is your YouTube?
But as you can see,
what is the name of your YouTube channel?
Read comics, they're bad for you. Read comics, they're bad for you. It's just spell it. Now the thing is, there is misspelled. It's THERE because
I get it.
I'm going to make it easier to find it. Yep.
I get it.
Now let's see some other artwork.
I have a question.
Let's try this. What?
I have a question. How do you spell
Yeah.
hair? Is it HAIR or is it HERR? Is he German?
You mean there, right?
Oh,
yeah.
It's just hair metal doctor because he's based on the hair metal musicians from the 80s.
All
Crossed
right, I
over
thought
to
he
the
was
mad
German.
scientist.
Like he was like Mr. Metal Doctor. I think that'd be
that would be good too.
Yeah,
that'd be good too.
Make him if you want to make him
That would
German.
be good too, honestly. Yeah.
If anybody wants to jump in on Read Comics, they're bad for you. The channel link is in the link. Let's help him build his channel. I need poon in my life.
Oh my god, brother!
I need all the poon I can get. So if you guys can subscribe to Read Comics, they're bad for you. Look at your subscriber count already went up. I'm subscribed, as you can see.
All right.
Yeah. So you guys jump in on that
Thank
channel. Get busy on the poon. Let's see, sharing your screen as well. Let's see. Oh, that's my screen. Remove that screen from the stream. Oh, you took yours out. All right then.
There it is.
Excellent. Well, guys, we hit the 2-hour mark, and I'm gonna wrap things up. I do a thing, Patrick, and you get to be lucky guest number 1, where I go around and I go clockwise, and I give each person 1 minute to talk about any and everything they want to, and then I ask them how they would like to be kicked. I kick you soldier style, Bruce Lee style, or hip hop style. So, Patrick, you have the floor for 1 minute.
Well, I'll make this brief. You already gave me so much time. Just if you can, go ahead and check out Johnny Fantasm on Indiegogo. It's going to be a fun little trip to take on with a bad guy turning from bad to good. And also check out Riot Press Productions on YouTube. And you can kick me Bruce Lee style.
All right, man. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I will see you out there in the Twitter sphere, my friend. You are always welcome back anytime. Mr. Matt Yackey.
Yes. Well,
how are you, sir? I have some
good.
things for you to do this week.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
We gotta do them quick. Trading card art.
Oh, all right.
Trading card art. So I'll be getting you some figures. And those are going to be for the trading card campaign. They're asking me for them now because they want to get them done up so I can share them on screen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah.
So I'll do that. But yeah, you have a minute, bro.
Well, where are we at with Black Flag? Because that's what everybody should go and support.
Oh man, that is a wonderful question. Let's see. I have no idea where we're at.
Yeah,
I know we're gonna be going over. Hoping to get to 100 so I can wear the pink bunny suit.
Yes.
Let's take a look right here. Let's bring it up on screen. Take a look. It says 95,581. That puts us $4,419 away from the pink bunny goal. Also, people will be getting stickers with every order, as well as that fold-out poster, as well as the brand new, awesome, perfect binding format.
1,193 backers. That's great.
It's excellent. So there we have Black Flag. If you guys want to support it, definitely jump in.
That's what people should do. And the only way to be kicked is not to be kicked.
Oh, Oh, shit.
Kicked himself.
He kicked himself. That was magic kick. Way to do that, Matt. That's a first. Matt Yackey. That's why we love him. He knows how to do shit. Plagle, what's
Yes.
happening, dude? You get a minute. The minute is yours. Talk about anything you want.
I guess I will take my minute to say Black Flag. Because that book needs to come up. Needs to go over the 100,000 mark.
Definitely, man. When are we gonna see your homie Squish? Squish. People have been asking. Yeah. See, look.
I got two new videos. There's a quarantine one that I just shot and edited.
Yeah.
And then I have another one which is like a holiday special, but it's a late holiday special where he's celebrating all the holidays.
Excellent.
So I gotta post those.
When is Squish coming back on the Couchdoodles show as a guest?
Whenever you want him back. You know him. He's an attention whore.
He likes it. He likes it.
He does. He loves being live on the FragaBooms.
Yeah. Well, next time that would be good. Hey, Germ Wiz says to adopt him. He said that last time you were on. If you need a ward like Robin, you get your own Robin. So. I know Squish. See, look at
Squish Wrangler.
Even Matt Yackey, who did the best kick in all of the show's history.
Oh lordy!
He says we need more Squish. So yeah, Squish is always welcome. Maybe we'll have a Friday night Squish. You around tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's figure something out. Let's talk in the morning. Give me a shout tomorrow, and we'll get Squish set up.
All righty.
We'll have Squish. Have him bring his ladies or whatever. I don't know. Just. Have him bring something to the party. I mean,
I'll have him bring something.
Squish is enough. All right, Mr. Plagle, how would you like to be kicked? Bruce Lee, Soldier, or hip hop? Bruce Lee?
He's ready.
All right, he's been kicked. Thank you, Mr. Plagle. We'll see you tomorrow. Bring your friend Squish, as always. Phil of Zay Comics. How are you, brother, man?
Good, man. Good. It's good to be back on the Couchdoodles show.
Yeah, I got to talk about Crimstone yesterday. I was on a show where we were talking about designs.
I saw that. That was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good stuff.
So much good shit. So much good shit.
A lot of good stuff.
Jabba the Cuck, just kicking for fuck's sake. Come on, Jabba.
That's Jabba the coach. You see that? He's the new coach.
Oh.
He took the title.
He did. What up, Sketch? Hail, Sketch. He says, hail, Zayd. So, my man, you have a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the clock. Talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Sure, yeah. Hail the chat. Everybody check out Magic Hop. Dan just got his in, and we're shipping basically next day when we get the orders in. So check it out. I'll post that link in the chat. And then also, I wanted to show you guys this new page from our next book, The Lost Pages. This pencils and inks just came in, and I started kind of like mocking up the letters for this.
Ooh, look at that.
That detail. This is John Joe Ball. If you guys know Superhero, you guys know Joe Ball, and he's doing some beautiful detail work here.
Yeah, that's gorgeous, man.
This is on our character Wildcard. He's an ancient sorcerer from Merlin times, and he's a pirate in this story, being attacked by sirens. So check that out. I'll be posting that link in the chat also.
Definitely.
Kicked. And when you do sign up for the mailing list for the Lost Pages, you're going to get an awesome trading card that is a jam piece. So it's all of our characters drawn by their respective artists.
Oh, jam.
So so it's like a jam trading card. So check that out, guys.
Jam on it.
Yeah, Dan. Would you be able to do a custom kick, kind of like a 300 This Is Sparta kick?
All right. Yeah.
Think so.
This. Huh? Oh, look at that, little girls. Yeah, I'm about to kick him. You don't interrupt a kick, young lady. I'll see you in a minute. Get out of here. I'll see you in a minute.
I wait.
So wait. This is Frigga. Boom. All right, you got kicked. Phil, thank you. Custom kicks are always good. Always good. Come back anytime, Phil. We love you, man. All right. We are here with Read Comics. They're bad for you. My Poon Master General, Buick Star Poon. the most anticipated book for my heart. You have 1 minute, my friend. Please tell us what you got.
I'm Chris Williams, and well, I've been working on trying to get this comic book out for the last few years. I'm doing this mostly because I hate what the current comic book industry has become, and I'm going to try and bring out the best work I can do and bring fun back to comics.
My man.
All right. Now this. I might as well plug for Indignious Monstrosity. He live streams every Saturday. He has a YouTube channel.
I love him.
I know. He's a pretty fun guy. Now, I'm playing for him. Now, also, I can show off some more art. Run panel right here. Look at this. This is oh, wait a minute. I guess you didn't see that because I don't have
real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second.
Wrong thing. There we are. Here we have this is what Sloppy Murmouth and Deathmug look like when they're powering up. With Deathmug, he has an aura around him. With Murder Mouth, he has an aura plus these little halo rings, and Sloppy just becomes his shapeshifting goes nutty. This is when he powers up, and when they're about something really big is about to happen right here. When they hear behind them, they hear a gigantic boom. Yeah. Now we'll find out what this is all about in my comic book Scumdogs when it comes out. Now that's where I'll leave you there, and time to kick me off the stream, man.
Chris Williams. Now that I've heard your name clearly, Chris Williams, sir, read comics. They're bad for you.
Thank you.
How would you like to be kicked, sir?
I like to be kicked off let's just do this the Super Bowl style. Kick me off and send me over the goal line.
Kick! And Chris Williams is out. Thank you, Chris Williams, for joining. You're always welcome back. Comics, they're bad for you. You guys have been watching the Couchdoodle show live with me, your host, FragaBoom, industry professional for 29, almost 30 years. I don't know about being eloquent or humble like our main man, E, but I am M.E., me. You guys, big time love for everybody that joined. Thank you so much. Make sure you smash that like. If you have not subscribed, definitely subscribe. Take that bell, ring that bell up to all, and you'll be notified when fun stuff is happening. We are going to be doing some new interviews coming soon. I haven't decided who's going to be next. I've got Mark Bagley. I've got Carl Potts. I've got Howard Chaykin. You guys are, some of you might say, who are some of these guys? These guys are the building blocks of comic books as we love and know. Hail remove kidney stones. I know, man. I need to get that thing out of me. And as soon as we're done with this show, I get to take a Percocet because my 6 hours are up and I can feel that thing a jing-a-lang-a-jingin'. You guys, the other thing you need to do is please most definitely leave some comments in the comments. Thank you, everybody that gave super chats that helps the show survive. It helps with new gear. It helps with streaming fees and things like that. You guys make this thing run. Hail to the members of the chat. Hail everyone. Hail CG. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm gonna kick myself with a hip hop kick. Can I kick it? No, I